Here's a giant with another larger size Sasquatch. Well blended in here. Um, so I'm going to take a picture here to show you what's going on. So the adult, wow, look how big his conical head is. It's huge. Okay, here's one of his eyes. You can see he's got his eyebrows. He's frowning, right? His other eye's frowned up. You can see the pupil here. He's got his shade lens halfway across his pupil to cut down on the glare, but his pupil is color copper color. Um, so that's the large Sasquatch. Okay, now let me take all this off here real quick. You'll see this one here. I think this is a juvenile. He's got his hands up to his face, up to his cheeks. See his hands there, right here, on both cheeks. All right, he's got his shade lens across his eye on this one. On this one over here, it looks like I can't tell. Maybe it's his pupil or not. I'm not sure. And then his flared nose, like so. And there, and then you got his mouth is right here. And then here's the elbows. Check that out. Up to his shoulder, up to the back of his head. Pretty fascinating stuff. Um, so these Sasquatches, they've been through this area quite a bit this past couple of summers. But during the wintertime, they usually migrate out of the area, and there's a lot of movement during that time. The BFRO estimate that there's about 200 Sasquatch living in the state of West Virginia, and that's estimating a 50-mile radius per small family. That they use 50 miles of scavenging at certain times to as a way to uh, sustain their family. And it takes about 50 miles per family. So I have some issues with that estimation. But I think some of it's right, maybe in certain areas, but in other areas it's wrong because these Sasquatches that's been coming through here, some of them are of the tree organ race uh, type of Sasquatch, the tree organ Sasquatch. They basically use the tree root system to get the nutrients out of the root ball of a tree, and they harvest the different maples and stuff to for camouflage and whatnot. So they're basically getting the bulk of their resources from trees. There's definitely some Sasquatch activity here, a couple different ones. Um, Now I've noticed that the Sasquatches who are priming into the trees and stuff, they have like this tube thing that comes out of that they have out of their mouth. I don't know if it's attached to their throat or whatever, or they've harvested it or got pipes from somewhere. I don't know. But I got video of them having that tube out of their mouth, and they use that to puncture into the trees and whatnot. Now I know like humans can roll their tongue, you know. I'm sure they can too. So it could just be that effect. I don't know, but they're definitely coming through this area. They'll prime right into a tree. Now, if you when you go into the woods and uh, you go into the woods and you see like those big white oak trees and the different type of trees, and you see these little sap spots all over it, right? Little circle sap spots. I I believe in most cases that's Sasquatch feeding off of that tree. So I got plenty of footage on my YouTube channel about that. Um, if you want to learn more about it, but they definitely prime into the trees. That's how they're surviving. You know, I've seen some of these giants, man. They're freaking huge. And if they here's a Sasquatch right here in between the trees watching me. Look at that guy. If they were surviving off our deer population or small game population, they would decimate our local ecosystems and they would wipe out, uh, you know, the nature's, uh, food chain, basically. It would completely annihilate it. It would mess everything up. Check him out, man. So I'm going to screenshot that just so we can look. So you can see he's leaning, right? This is his arm right here. And then his head's coming over. Over here, he's peeking around the tree. But his body's back here on this side. And there's a little juvenile right there. Up in the tree right there is a juvenile. Standing there. Check him out. Look at that. I can't tell if that's a little male or female. I think it might be a little female. Um, I don't think it's a transgender Sasquatch or nothing. I think it's either male or female. With their camouflage, sometimes it's hard to tell. Yeah, there's all kind of them back here. Here's the one up here at the top of the canopy right here. Look at this guy, mid-sized giant. They are all in this footage everywhere. Look at this Sasquatch here. Now he's priming that tree, I believe, because he's got his hands up to his mouth. Um, unless that's the one behind him that's got his hand up to his mouth there. Here's his face. Let me see here. There's his eyebrow ridge. He's of the Darrow race. You can see it. He's a Darrow hybrid actually, because his nose ain't quite long as a full-size Darrow, but it's still got quite a bit of length to it there. Yeah, this is a Darrow. Uh, he's not a hobbit. He's a Darrow mixture of a regular Sasquatch and a Darrow because his nose is medium length of a regular Darrow. Check him out. Unbelievable, man. That's some good detail right there. Just amazing detail. Look at that eye right there. See, I've not even cleaned any of this footage up, not screenshotted it. Look at these little juveniles up above him there, all in this footage. So I'm going to try to screenshot some of this and take a look at it. Let's see here. I'm going to go forward and back, see if I get some movement on this guy. Okay, wow, look at that. He's moving his face. Look at that. You see some of the brown in his eyes there? So we'll move it back and forth again here in a minute. Look at that. Folks, that's Sasquatch. Absolutely. Sasquatch. It's not pareidolia. It's not bullshit. It's actual Sasquatch. And there's one right below him. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's got, this is a little juvenile. You can see the black around his eyes there. He's probably got his shade lens on. That's a little juvenile right there looking up. Sure is. Here's one right here. Leaning down. There's so much footage here. Oh my goodness, look at this. Right here, right in plain sight, man. Okay, this Sasquatch, right? He's got one of those long noses too. Here's his eyes. See his arm going back like that. You see his other arm coming down like that. He's reaching to pick up this pipe right here. Is what he's doing. To hit me with it if I get close. See? Look at his arm right there. See his hand right here. He's reaching to grab this post that's laying right here. To, to most likely to clobber me with it if I get out of line. Is basically what he's doing. So I'm gonna go back and forth on this here in a minute. There's another Sasquatch up there. After uh, we finish with this one up here. Oh wow, look at this guy here. This is the whole tribe, man. The whole tribe is here. There's probably about 15, 18 Sasquatch in this tribe. And it varies quite a bit. Sometimes you don't see a certain Sasquatch, they move on or whatever, or die of old age or multiple things. Okay, here we go. I'm going to move this back and forth. Uh, right here's a Sasquatch, two of them. Uh, they're blending in so well. We're going to take a quick look at this. Okay, the first Sasquatch is right here. Here's his high eyebrow ridge. Here's his eyes. You can see his eye there in the corner. All right, there's his nose. There's his mouth. It's right here. Um, he's a little Darrow hobbit. He's not very big. You see his curly hair back this way. There's his body. Okay, he's not very big. And then we got another one right here, maybe two. There's one right here. You can see the nocturnal shade lens on this one. And then we got one right here. You can see its big flared out nose. There's several of them right there, all stacked in there together. And they blend in so well to the point that they even look like a tree, but they're not. The tree is behind them and they're camouflaged, blending right in with the tree. Um, because if you see right here, there is no tree up through here. That tree is their making. It's their skin, their faces, their light skinned faces. They're stacking up on top of each other, and with their other fur and hair and whatnot, it just looks like vegetation or whatever. This right here is uh, crazy practice to make this work, but they are stacked up right there, surviving. Look at this one here. So I've not enhanced this footage at all. So we're gonna get a quick look at it. Look at this one here, looking down. Look how big his eye is there. He got his mouth gaped wide open. Check his eye out right there. All right. He's shocked at something. All right. And then there's one right here. All right, so let's move this back and forth. Look at this one here. There's one right there too. All right, here we go. That copper hair and that Sasquatch coming through there. Here we go. Wow. His lip there extend all the way down. Check him out. He closed his lip. Look at this one here. There's that one Sasquatch moving. Okay, so you can see his shoulder right there. See his hands. There's his head. Almost looks like an alien gray type forehead. It's with it, but you can see his receding hairline there. Um, and you see his foot right there. Now they don't turn cryptids away. This tribe don't. You know, they have different varieties of cryptids. Sometimes you get different ones, like the dog man that will travel with them. A couple of different ones, so it's hard to name them right now. But because there is a few different species of Sasquatch that people's come up with over the years, but um, the main thing is that shade lens that comes across their eye. I don't hear anybody talk about that, but I've seen it in all my footage. these little shade lenses. Look at this big eyeball right here. These little shade lenses that cross over the eye. Look at this guy. I've seen him several times. There's one right here too. I want to do some enhancements on these guys. Look at this one here. Look at his face. Little chubby face. Look at his eyes. That is a giant baby right there. The giant babies and the mid-sized giants, they're pretty big, even though they're a baby. Sometimes they're bigger than some of uh, the teenagers of the regular Sasquatches here in Appalachia. Okay, so we got one more time here. I want to look at this real quick. Okay, we got one Sasquatch right here. You can see him looking back at me. There's his eyes, his eyebrow ridge. Well blended in. Okay, here's the main adult partially obscured by the debris. You can see his nose there, his eyes. That's pretty good footage right there, folks. I'm gonna get him to move here in just a minute. Yeah, that's pretty good footage. So here we go. I want to go ahead and move the footage back and forth real quick. See if we can get some movement. That's at 119 timestamp. Let me see here. Okay, so there he's frowning. See his nose pull up there? He's frowning at me. Watch this. So you see his nose there. He's going to frown at me whenever I move forward. Watch his nose raise up there. Ready? See it? Let me try it again one more time. See it right there? Look at that. His nose is. I hit him with that light and he don't like it. So he's probably hissing at me more likely. Right there. Now you can see, look at the little juvenile that's right in front of him with his mouth gaped open. See that? I'm going to take a picture of that because they're both turning there. Even this one here, you can see his eyes up front. Check this guy out. Just amazing. That's clear footage there, folks. It's not pixelated. See his eyes right here? His nose. See his mouth. There's his copper hair. Right? That adult's turning back looking at me, and that's not blurred out. He's just well hidden. Here's one peeking around the tree. They're just all through this footage. Absolutely amazing. And they're showing off all their skills of cover and concealment. Look at this one up here. Side profile view right here. Um, so I can move a lot of this back and forth, try to get some movement out of them. First, I want to look at this guy right here in the front. See if we can get him to move a little bit. He just blinked right there. Did you see that? See his teeth? He frowned right there. See his cheeks? He's opening his mouth a little bit right there, it looks like. Unless he's holding a little juvenile. I guess that's possible. But there's definitely multiple Sasquatch in there. Look at this guy right here. He's got a juvenile reaching around, putting his hands up there toward his nose. I don't know exactly what he's doing there, but just a moment. Look at this giant leaning in here. I'm gonna take a picture of this. Wow, look at those two giants up top. Look at that. I'm gonna point this out real quick before I close the video. Look at this guy. He's every bit of 15 foot tall, man. Because that's how tall the canopy is. Look at his eyes right here. There's his nose. And then there's one right here. You can see its hair. You can see its eyes, its mouth. So I'm going to move back and forth on these guys. Also, you got one right here leaning down. So my dog's playing. If you hear any noise in the background, that's what that is. Sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, so we got these two up here. Look how clear it's coming in. Just amazing. They're just well camouflaged, but the footage is clear. Here we go. See if I get in the, oh, see that one blink on the right? Right there. Oh, wow. Check that out. There's one down there behind the tree. There's just Sasquatch all through this footage. But that right there is just, I'm still amazed at that. You can see his hairline on his jaw there. Look at the hair coming down his cheeks. See if I can get him to blink. Okay. Look at his facial expressions there. Look at the orbital move there back and forth around his eye. Watch his eye move back and forth right here. Okay, right there he's blinked right there. He's either blinked with his regular eye or well no, he's got a little juvenile on top of his head. Look at that. That's what that movement is. He's got a juvenile on top of his head leaning over his forehead, moving around. And you can see his eye right there. He just blinked. Right there. See that? Bam. Right there, he's blinking. And he's got a little juvenile on top of his head moving around there. Oh, look at that. Just amazing, man. Folks, this is not pareidolia. This is Appalachian Sasquatch alive and well. Look at that. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Don't be a chump. Hit the like button. Peace.